The space race is on! Launchpad is a family strategy card game for 2 to 4 players ages 10 and up. Build as many rockets as you can and advance them through 3 phases of construction. The launchpad is also under construction. When it's completed, all of the rockets will blast off, ready or not. But watch out for your opponents, who could sabotage or destroy your rockets and steal your goods. Do you have what it takes to make your rockets soar before it's too late? This video contains complete instructions on how to play Launchpad. In the box you will find a full-color instruction booklet, 140 game cards, and 4 reference cards that include a gameplay diagram and a summary of game setup, turns, cards, and scoring. Launchpad requires a significant amount of space in front of each player, so ensure that the table is cleared and adequate space is reserved. To set up the game, first deal a reference card to each player. Set aside the 4 Launchpad cards and shuffle the remaining cards. Deal 6 cards to each player. Shuffle the Launchpad cards into the bottom half of the deck. Place the deck in the center of the table and choose a starting player. Each player controls an area that contains 3 game zones: the construction zone, the quality control zone, and the launch zone. A diagram on each card indicates the zone in which it can be played. The 3 squares represent the 3 zones. A colored square indicates that the card is initially played in the corresponding zone. A white square indicates that the card can exist in that zone, but only after it has advanced from a lower zone. A black square indicates that the card should never exist in that zone. Some cards are played by discarding them and are never played in any zone. Others are played outside of the zones. Players build rockets to score points. There are 4 types of rocket cards, each worth a different amount of points. Rockets are built in the construction zone and advance to the quality control zone and launch zone. Rockets that have advanced to the launch zone score points at the end of the game. To build a rocket, place it in the construction zone. Once a rocket is under construction, it requires a certain amount of metal and fuel, as indicated on the card. Metal and fuel are called components. To add components to a rocket, place them horizontally underneath the rocket. Once a rocket has all the required components, the components are hidden underneath to indicate that it is completed. As many rockets as desired can be built in the construction zone. Once a rocket is completed, it is eligible to advance to the quality control zone and the launch zone. In order for a rocket to advance, an expert must be in place in the zone at the beginning of the turn. Experts are played to the left of the rockets in each zone. There are 4 types of experts. The engineer constructs rockets in the construction zone. The inspector inspects rockets in the quality control zone. The mission controller ensures launch success in the launch zone. The jack of all trades can take the place of any of the others. Experts can be played in any order, but only one expert can be played in each zone. Action cards allow a player to carry out a specific action. An action card is played by discarding it and carrying out the action specified on the card. Specialty cards provide a specific ability to a player for as long as they are in play. Specialty cards are played to the right of a player's game zones. A player can have only one specialty card in play at any time. To play a new specialty card, first discard the previous one. See the instruction booklet for a complete reference on all of the available action and specialty cards. Bonus cards are used to score bonus points or offer special protection for a specific rocket. There are 4 types of bonus cards. The Quality Certificate card is played with a rocket in the Quality Control Zone and advances with the rocket to the launch zone. It scores 3 bonus points at the end of the game and protects the rocket from the Quality Check action card. The Astronaut and Oxygen cards are played with a rocket in the launch zone. Together, they score 4 bonus points at the end of the game. An astronaut without oxygen results in a 4-point penalty at the end of the game. The Maximum Security card is played with a rocket in the launch zone. It protects the rocket from the Sabotage, Abort Mission, and Vacuum action cards. Only one of each type of bonus card may be played with a single rocket. Launchpad cards determine when the game ends. Launchpad cards are played to the left of the experts in each zone. When a launchpad card is drawn, it is immediately placed at the left side of the construction zone and a new card is drawn in its place. Launchpad cards must be advanced to the next zone at the beginning of the following turn, even if there is no expert. From the launch zone, they advance to the launchpad area in the center of the table. Each turn consists of the following steps. Advance any launchpad cards that are in your game zones. Advance 1 completed rocket per zone, but only if an expert is present in the zone the rocket is leaving. A single rocket cannot advance twice in one turn. Draw cards until you reach the hand limit of 6 cards. One of the cards may optionally be drawn from the top of the discard pile. Play as many playable cards as desired. A playable card is one that can be placed properly or for which an action can be carried out. If you have managed to play all of your cards, draw again up to the hand limit of 6 cards. This can only happen once per turn. Discard as many cards as desired. The cards in hand cannot exceed the hand limit at the end of the turn. If the draw pile runs out of cards, the discard pile is shuffled and becomes the draw pile. When the launch pad is completed, each player takes one last turn, ending with the player who completed the launch pad. Players then score points based on the cards in their game zones. Rockets in the launch zone are worth the full point value listed on each rocket card. If a rocket in this zone has a quality certificate, add 3 points to its value. If a rocket has an astronaut and oxygen, add 4 points to its value. If a rocket has an astronaut but no oxygen, subtract 4 points from its value. If there is no mission controller, subtract 10 points from the total score. Rockets in the quality control zone are worth 0 points. If a rocket in this zone has a quality certificate, it is still worth 0 points. Rockets in the construction zone are worth negative points. Subtract their value from the total score. This player would earn 21 total points. The player with the most points wins. There are many ways to play Launchpad. When you are ready for fun new variations, try out the game length variations, negotiations, and superpowers rules that are included in the instruction booklet. You can find additional optional rules at www.stratusgames.com.